This is how to get the battery out of a Case 1845C. If you don't believe it, looky there, the battery's out. This is official Case battery. When I put this in about 7 years ago, I thought, I'm not looking forward to the day of getting that out. Today is the day. So what do? First of all, the battery was dead. Well, you really can't get this out unless you lift the arms up. And you can see that we have got the arms lifted up, and there's a safety brace on the other side of the machine. That safety brace needs to be put in place so that if the hydraulics fail, it doesn't come down on you. So how do we get the machine started? What we did, as far as getting the machine started, we put a heavy-duty battery charger on it, ran it at 10 amps for about 2 hours, and then after a couple hours, we then put the 40 amp starting charge to it, and previously it hadn't started, but since it had been charged for a couple hours at 10 amps, I actually got to where it turned the machine over and started it up. If that didn't work, we were going to use jumper cables and then basically get our new battery and install it next to, install it basically via jumper cables to the connections here right adjacent to the starter, and to get this thing started up and then, get it moved over here. We then had to use, we have a handy dandy pry bar, a flat bar. We had previously lifted up on this and got a rope underneath the battery right here. And then we wanted to put the lift and raise this up. Well, the legs from the lift hit the one under the tires, so I went and got a jack to jack it up so we get on the tires. The machine's so stiff that then it was teeter-tottering on one leg with the bucket up. I didn't like that. So I decided that we're going to do this a different way. So I'm going to use my gravity, and I hung off the end of this hoist like this, basically being the fat guy on the other end of the teeter-totter. Then we had Jessica here. They're too shy to be filmed, but Jessica doesn't want filmed, does she?
No.
Oh, there she is. Looky there. Jessica was in here, and you got some flex on this cage, the roller protection cage. You have some flex there, and we've already removed this plate here above the machine, which is a two-person job because you got bolts on the inside. They just made it to where you can't get away from having two people working on this. We then used a flat pry bar, pried out. We had Julie, who was also operating the hydraulic cylinder, so it's kind of a three-person operation. Almost looked like a government project. So we have one person prying out prying against the rollover protection system to get the battery out. We had one person jacking on the hydraulics, the other person holding this so that it would not fall over. Now, what I did do is I'd search the batteries, because I just thought, why don't we just get a smaller battery? This one was 750 cold cranking amps and served great for 7 years. So I searched batteries, and this battery is definitely not as long, and it's a little narrower. And so every inch you can get here is a good thing. This is a 34, SLI 34M. It's a group number 34. So what I learned is batteries come in group numbers, and the group number defines the size of the battery. This one also has 800 cold cranking amps. This was 750. So I assumed this would work. One thing is, it's very difficult. You got metal pieces right here on this linkage brace and on the back structural member. This battery just fits in there perfectly, which is horrible because it's a nightmare trying to get it up and out. But if we put this other battery on top, we can see this battery here is a little bit narrower. I mean, only by about 1/8 of an inch, but it's definitely not as wide. So this is going to be a lot easier to deal with, I'm hoping. I look through all the batteries. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe there is something out there that works better. But this is the smallest battery I could find that actually work in this machine. One other thing about these batteries are, this battery is relatively narrow this direction, Most car batteries and things are wider. So to try to find something that had the cold cranking amps and was this narrow was hard to find. Like I said, I spent an hour and a half, and it finally just said the 34, the I guess it's called a frame or whatever. The size 34 of the battery isn't perfect, but it's the best I got. So good thing is that's gone. Now our positive terminal is a little bit on the shorter side, as I recall here. Yes, it is. I'm going to, here's our handy dandy flat bar we are using. I'm going to take this, turn it around because our positive's on the right side. Let's see how this slides in. I'm going to have to deal with the battery hold downs. We'll figure that out a little later. But, so I put this in. There, it goes in pretty easy. There you go. Now if I ever have to get this out in the future, look, it has a handle. Not like that beast there that has no handle. Just an absolute nightmare. This one I can grab this handle right here, shove this in, comes out. So there you go. That's my recommendation. We're gonna see how this battery works. Hopefully it works good. 800 cold cranking amps. It's from Batteries Plus and SLI 34M. That's the part number. It's a group number. They have group numbers for batteries. It's a 34, group number 34. So I would assume that the group number 34 would work, whether it be a Duracell or whatever. Group number 34 is a certain size of battery. So I remember when I put that battery in, it was shoehorning it in, and when I dropped it in finally, I told myself, oh, I'm not going to enjoy the day when I have to get this back out. There are a lot of things we tried. We tried removing the linkage that goes from the control arm back to the back. That didn't work. We couldn't get it out that way. Really, this was the only way. I've heard other people say you got to remove this whole thing. Man, that's a lot of work. I mean, I guess we could, but I guess I got better things to do with my life rather than do unnecessary work. So give this a try. After we get this hooked up, I gotta clean my battery terminals. We'll get this hooked up, fire this up, see how it runs. And now maybe we now have a way to have a battery that fits reasonably and get out of here reasonably without too much effort. I think messing around with this thing, because we didn't know exactly how we were going to get it out. I did get it out last time, but I was younger, stronger, and could just force a whole lot of things. Now that I'm almost 60, it's a little more difficult in life to just brute force and yank than it used to be, so I had to use my brain a little more and my back a little less. So we're going to try this out, put it in here, and